Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to review Module 4, Week 4. But before I do, I'm going to go over a few housekeeping issues. Let's look at our course calendar of Week 3. Now in Week 3, you responded to the discussion board post, Critical Thinking versus Creative Thinking, and Are You Smarter Than a Chatbot? I found this discussion very interesting because it is very contemporary. People are turning to chatbots to write or to gain ideas when it comes to writing essays. I've even heard of stories of individuals who use a chatbot to complete a dissertation, a PhD dissertation. That's interesting. But many of you pointed out in your post that there are significant challenges to using chatbots in order to think. Specifically, a weak side of a chatbot is creativity. It lacks creativity. It's so dull and generic. So why would people still use this to write their essays? That baffles me as an instructor. So if I catch any one of you using a chatbot to write an essay, I'm a realist, so I'm going to say this. It's going to happen. Do not think you're going to get an A in that paper, because it's just almost always it's evident that that paper lacks creativity, and I know, and many of you know that. So don't use it. If you know that you're not smarter than a chatbot, and if you're confident that you're smarter, be yourself. Let me see your voice. I want to read your voice, and I will grade you on the basis of how you respond to the assignment instructions. Papers that have been significantly altered by AI, I can tell, and you shouldn't be expecting a passing grade from it. So I'll leave it at that. You can refer to the syllabus for my policies on academic plagiarism and even the use of AI to write papers. I have that in my syllabus. Now let's go into Module 4, Week 4, because this is my main concern for the week. You will notice I have readings on protesting and students. Many of you, particularly if you are a teenager, you belong to the Gen Z generation. It is your generation you believe is so much in protesting, expressing your views, opinion on social media. You were born in the tech age, where like all you've known since you were a kid is your smartphones and typing on an iPad. So I am very interested in technology. I am very passionate about disruptions to technology, trying to understand the changes that has happened. So I think this is a very important topic when it comes to slogans, protests, and college students. One area that I think one topic that has been in the news since late last year is it's political, but also historical, and we may even say moral, because it's the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which is literally tearing apart the Middle East. I understand there are various positions in this. I want you guys to be free to express yourself, and you will have a chance to express yourself, especially when I ask you to discuss about the first impressions you have when it comes to student activism and slogan. So don't be surprised when you see the Israeli-Palestinian conflict show up. But before you even get to that, after you complete that, you should be able to watch some videos. This is supplementary videos I've posted in the Module 4 folder. Now, as I've said, I cannot post all supplementary videos on the assignment calendar because that will clutter it. It will be so much, and it will probably scare you guys off. So that's the reason why I don't always post hyperlinks for particular videos, especially if they're supplementary items, on the course calendar. Now this video, the one I'm pointing at, the history of student-led protests, gives you some background that what you guys do today when you carry placards or slogans and start yelling slogans in people's faces in order for them to do what you would like them to do, it's nothing new. But there's something new about protests in the 21st century, because social media platforms are new. You can say whatever you want, and people have been doing so ever since Twitter, Facebook, what have you, became platforms where you can share voices and share thoughts. So in Learning Modules 4, Week 4, this is where you'll find, especially the Module Activities folder, which you can access by clicking on the Course Material folder. There are two ways to access this folder. So if you go into one of this folder and it's not open, just go to Course Materials and try to find Week 4. That's just a shortcut. This is the link for the student history of US student-led protests. I also have it on the course calendar. I've got a specific folder which is, of course, focused on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The videos are pretty intense, very emotional, highly charged. I try to cover both sides, at least what you're saying. And I have a special note here because this link tries to explain the conflict. I wouldn't say much than I've said here, but I cannot please everyone. But if you think for some reason that one or more of the videos you don't think they accurately describe something about what you understand about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, feel free to send me an email. I'm interested in knowing. But I will say this, that just as many of you grew up hearing the news about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, this has been in the news since I was a child. So this conflict it's gone on for a long time, and people have said, why not you just solve it once and for all? Why does this keep happening? Why is it that every year they're firing rockets at each other and there's some murderous crime committed by one side or the other? So that's that on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. But one reading that you should complete, which will there are points going to be assigned, is When Slogans Replace Arguments, and it's by John McWhorter. Now, McWhorter is an interesting person because he is, as I often tell students, he is somebody who is a contrarian. His beliefs are somewhat not always mainstream. He begs to differ on mainstream issues, but he's honest about many things as well. So he's the one who likes to tell it as he sees it, and when you guys read the article, you will know, you understand. So I don't want to spill the beans and let you guys. I don't want to prejudice the reading by giving you my insights of this, but I want you guys to read. When you read this article, When Slogans Replace Arguments, I think you'll be able to see through some of what guides some protesters, and how some protesters, even though they could be well-meaning, can act in very aggressive and even if not irresponsible ways. So make sure you read that. Here's a video on John McWhorter. You can tell he's a very intelligent person, and I have a presentation on writing summaries, so make sure you watch that as well. Looking at the course calendar, you can tell that you have to turn in your first draft for the literary analysis essay. That is going to be based on the movie To Serve with Love 2. So if you didn't complete the post on To Serve with Love 2, make sure you at least have watched the movie, because you cannot complete the literary analysis essay assignment without watching To Serve with Love 2. And when you work on completing the literary analysis essay assignment, remember the formatting instructions I have on the handouts. The reason I'm detailed with my instructions is because I want you guys to know what I want you to do, so that you don't walk away like, what am I supposed to do on this paper? I told you pretty much everything you need to know. I even reviewed it in the video, what you're supposed to do. So there should be no excuses. But if you find or believe there's something confusing about the assignment instructions, reach out to me ASAP. Like I said, I'm happy to meet with students to the extent that they're flexible with your time. I am a very busy instructor, but I will try to find the time. So if you give me an excuse that you're busy, well, we may get into a debate about who's busier. And I know from what you guys have told me your interests over that, not many of you are I don't think there's anyone who's as busy as I am. But that's not to say that I won't make time for you guys. But I just hope that you will be considerate and when you reach out to me, because I am willing to make time for you. The question is, do you want to make time for me if we had to schedule something to work together? That's my position. I made it clear in my course orientation video. Now, looking at the course calendar, you can tell what is coming. So it's gonna get tough. So brace up. If you've been slacking off in the class, this is the time to wake up, get up, stand up. No time for slack off anymore. So you need to get serious. I know I will reach out to a couple of you. I know there's some students who came into the class with some let's put it this way, let me put it this way, some issues that are peculiar and unique. So I have not forgotten you. I have the plan to reach out to you. So that's all I have to say for my review this week. Have a great rest of your day.